Hi there folks, welcome to Dunsey's Guitar World. Today I'm going on a guitar safari, I should say a guitar safari. And I think safari is probably an accurate word. Today I'm going to the Kingdom of Fife. So I'm going to do a guitar swap with one of my guitar chums. I'm going to get a train. I'm going to train from Edinburgh to Fife.
We are now approaching Kirkcaldy.
So what guitar did you get, Dunsey? What guitar did you get? The guitar I got was a guitar with that kind of bridge and that kind of pickup configuration and that kind of neck attachment, made in Japan. And it is a guitar with no logo on it. So it is, if you didn't know, a copy of a Gibson Marauder. Now the Gibson Marauder was made from 1975 till about 1979, 1980, and it has to be said they were perhaps not the greatest of Gibson guitars. I actually bought one. I bought one of them and a Gibson Sonex together in the one deal for £300 in 1986, I think it was. And look at the price of them now. Crazy stuff, folks, crazy stuff. So yes, the Gibson Marauder, it has a humbucker in the front and a single coil in the back. They weren't particularly great sellers either, you know, they didn't sell hundreds of thousands of these, but they were copied in Japan. I think most of these copies were made by Ibanez, but I didn't find any which are badged as Ibanez. There's all different types of names that are used on these guitars. Let's have a quick look. Some other models, here's the Cimar, or Cimar, C-I-M-A-R, catalogue from 1976. It's just a bunch of pictures that I found on the internet. So this is a 76 catalogue. Cimar electric guitars. If we go to that page there, we see the Marauder, the bold Marauder. Here it's called a number 1951. Solid body electric guitar, full length, 40 inches, 13.5 wide, pickup 2, transparent. So there it was, 1976. So Gibson, I think, released them in 75. Maybe started selling them in 76. So Ibanez, I think Cimar's like a subsidiary of Ibanez, or Ibanez made the guitars for them. So they were in their early doors. 1977. The next one is a 1978, an Electra. The Guitar Vault. This is the Cimar one. My apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. Now I saw this one, this has been, it says a blue burst, but my understanding is they weren't shipped in this colour. This has been refinished. I like the look of that, that looks great. It's got a by Gibson on it as well, but I don't think that's a Gibson. And they've put Marauder under the M by Gibson. Looks cool though, eh? And I found a Fresher FM 381S. Now Fresher is pretty much known as a budget brand of Japanese guitars, but that looks pretty cool. So JHS, English company who imported guitars. I guess they probably got them made in the factory and just got the name put on it, JHS. And finally, this one I found is a Sandner. I found it in sort of Norway, yeah. Sandner. But they all look very much the same. I mean, there's a couple of differences in truss rod covers, but they look to be all the kind of same guitar. Manufactured by Ibanez. You could just order, you know, 500 of these and just put your own badge on it. I mean, I think one's enough, if I'm being honest. Now, I guess if you put a humbucker in this and you make it 2 humbuckers, it would look like this customised Gibson here. I like the look of that. That looks pretty cool. I think Derek Whibley has, I think he had a humbucker in his as well. So that is a customised Gibson one where they have added a humbucker. I don't know if you need to create a new scratch plate for this, because the humbucker is going to sit too far back on the scratch plate, like it'll go off the scratch plate unless you move it forward. I don't know how that would sound. And I did find another customised Gibson with 2 humbuckers. In fact, I found another 2. I like the look of that one. Wine red, black scratch plate and 2 double cream humbuckers. Nice, that's sweet. That just says 1970s to me. And the final one, I like the look of that. The person, I had a look on a forum and I found this, and the person who did it, I think they made their own pick guard for it. So you can, like I said, you know, because the pick guard on the one on the left kind of curves up just where the bridge pickup goes. So I don't think that pickup surround would have fitted exactly in there, so they've had to make the whole thing themselves. That was pretty cool. I think they stripped the body as well, obviously. That's pretty cool. That's a rocking guitar. That's a 1970s rocker, that one. Now, as I said, I've had an original one of these. An original, I can't remember the date. I couldn't even find a photograph of me playing one of the Gibson ones. But I do remember it was not the greatest playing guitar, and I remember taking it to band practice at that point in time. Now, at that point in time, I was using a couple of Gibson Les Paul Customs, and I plugged the Marauder in, and it didn't sound great. So I sold it not long after I got it. I traded it in. Can't even remember what I traded it in for. But this, I have to say, is very accurate playing wise to what I remember, what little I do remember of the original Gibson one I had. But let's listen to the sounds of this guitar. I'll pop through to the other room, plug my Kemper in, and we'll hear some of the sounds from the neck humbucker and the bridge single coil. This big harmonica style bridge. Now, I'll get my excuses in early. I've cut my thumb. My cat put his claw down there last night, and it's like he's got razor sharp claws. He wouldn't stop bleeding, so I'm having a bit of trouble playing today. I've actually got band practice tonight, so I don't know how I'm going to work that out. And the other thing is the whirring sound you may hear. The hard drive on my recording laptop is a bit, how would I say, fucked. So I've had to order a new laptop as well, which should be here tomorrow. So I'm having to try and struggle through with this. So I've got my excuses in early. If this guitar sounds rubbish, it's because of my sore thumb and a fucked laptop. So with that all said, let's try some clean on the bridge pickup. Clean Dunsey. That sounds nice. Middle position. And the neck on a clean sound. Sounds okay. Let's try the bridge pickup with a bit more dirt. Middle. And neck. Let's go for some Marshall JCM 800 style high gain, and we'll see how it works with that. So it's okay, I mean, it has its own sound. I think the main issue with this is that the neck pickup is so bloody loud compared to the bridge pickup. Now, I have lowered the neck pickup significantly, and I have upped the bridge pickup significantly just to get it almost balanced. But, you know, this isn't the sound I would use in a live environment. You know, I wouldn't walk in front of a crowd of people playing a bunch of 70s rock. Well, me playing a bunch of 70s rock, not the people playing a bunch of 70s rock. But for me, the bridge pickup is not kicking enough arse, as they say in Scotland. Now, some famous people have used these. Well, Paul Stanley used to break them up at the end of Kiss gigs in the 70s. Mac from Superchunk uses one. Derek Whibley from Sum 41 famously used them in videos as well. So, I mean, there has been some famous players. I mean, it is quite a unique type of guitar. It does play pretty well, I have to say. It plays pretty well. It's a Gibson 24.75 inch scale. I think it's a 9.5 inch neck radius, but it's a comfortable guitar to play. But as I say, the bridge pickup for me probably does not kick enough arse for the type of style that I want to play. I'm looking at changing that. And the other thing is the tuners, these tuners. These are the tuners that you tend to find on the cheaper branded Japanese guitars. These are not good tuners. In fact, let's have a quick look. This is me trying to tune the G string, trying to tune my G string. You see what I did there? When you turn this, get that in focus please. See if I can focus on the tuners. And it doesn't move for about half a turn. So this will be a 2 or 3 part video, I suspect. First part, this one, is me just introducing this rather unique guitar. Plays nice, I have to say, but the sound isn't really for me. So what I'm going to do is, at the very end of this video, I'm going to take the strings off this because I don't know what the routing underneath the scratch plate is, the pick guard is. So I don't know if I would be able to put a humbucker in here, or if I need to put like one of the JB little 59s or whatever it is from the Telecasters or Strats, something like that. If this was an original Gibson Marauder, I would not be crazy enough to go routing a body out and ruining the pick guard, because as you just saw, these are like crazily about £1,500, so I wouldn't do that. But this is just a cheap copy, a decent playing copy, it has to be said. But I do need to upgrade it, I need to get it sounding better, I need to get it staying in tune. So let's have a look. Is it a swimming pool route, in which case I just need to cut a bit out the pick guard and drop a humbucker in there with a humbucker surround? Or do I need to try and come up with some sort of way of getting one of these single coil sized humbuckers in there? Now the problem is that the width from the screw to there, from there to there, there to there, is much wider. I think that's 84mm, I had a quick check. And I believe the distance between mounting screws on a Fender style pickup is only 76. So I don't know how that's going to work out. So anyway, let's check it out, let's see what we're going to do, and then we'll take it on to part 2. Let's get the strings off this guitar. Let's get the scratch plate off. Let's see where we are. Is this a swimming pool route, or is there only a route for a single coil at the bridge? That will determine how we proceed for the next part of this video. Anybody else excited about this? I know that I'm excited. It's a moment of truth. Let's get the scratch plate off. Oh no! Boo! Boo! So there it is. It is not a swimming pool route after all. So we need to try and get a pickup in here. Now that's obviously not wide enough for a humbucker. I don't think I really want to route all this out, so I'm going to try and look at a way of getting a Fender style pickup, like a humbucker, but obviously only sort of that wide, to hang from here. But the issue will be that the distance between here and here on these pickup screws is actually different from what you get on a Fender style pickup. So I'm going to have to try and work out a way of perhaps maybe putting a little bit of scratch plate on either side, so that because the Fender ones will like hang just sort of in there. Yes, that's one to consider. So if you ever wondered what the inside of a made in Japan copy of a Gibson Marauder looks like, there you go. As I said earlier, I mean, it was a long time ago. I mean, it was like 35 years ago I did own a Gibson one, but this is just as accurate as one of them, I would say. There it is. There is your non-swimming pool route in a no-name Japanese Gibson Marauder copy that probably needs a little bit of a clean. So there you go. Part 2 of the video is me trying to bodge putting a humbucker style pickup, but in a single coil format, like a JB 59 in there, and getting it to fit in here and getting it rocking. As ever folks, it's a privilege and a pleasure bringing you content on Dunsey's Guitar World. Cheers for now.